Okay, Sue, let's pretend that you've lived your 30 days, you've orchestrated your last 24 hours. What do you want in that last hour?
Mm. The last hour, I would definitely like to be pain-free. I would like to feel no fear. And it's the same thing. I often had thought and felt deeply throughout my life that I don't necessarily belong in my body. And there's times I felt very deeply that I want to go home and that I just want to be back into the mass consciousness and not really be in a physical body anymore. So it's the same thing. I'm wondering if that process will be easier because I believe that, or when push comes to shove and it's really happening, that I will feel what I feel and my body will naturally do what it wants to do, and react how it's going to react. I don't know, but I would want it to be free of fear, free of pain. I would want my son and my partner and his daughter to be next to me. I would want just to be surrounded by love and prayer and support. I imagine that I would want it to be a lot like the space that I held for my adopted mom when I was with her that last hour in hospice. Is I held her hand, I stroked her hair, I talked to her, I prayed, I did Reiki on her, I soothed her, I told her it was okay and to not be afraid. And that's how I would want my family to be with me when I'm on my last hour in this earth.
Thank you.
Thank you. So what would you like your last hour to be like? Have you envisioned that at all?
Yeah, I started my journey at being a labor doula, birth doula, and now find it interesting that I always call it from womb to tomb. I'm now focused on the end days, and there are similar opportunities to go through a portal into the unknown and the uncertain. And part of the human experience is wanting it to be predictable and controllable. So my hope would be in that last hour that I would surrender with grace, that I would not try to figure out how to die. I want to have planned and organized things as best I can, but I want to surrender, like you were talking about, Sue, is surrender to the process. Let it be what it will be. I've learned from both birth and death that the energy in the room can either, sometimes people will pass because someone left the room. And sometimes people will pass because they want very deeply for a certain someone, or they'll wait to pass until that person gets there. So I want to make sure that there is an agreement with those who happen to be with me, that there's a voluntary there's a willingness to be present at that interesting, challenging time, and that absolutely no one be there who is going to hold fear or upset or anger or concern or drama. It's where I want, and like there's not a score. I'm not going to keep score like, oh, you were there and you weren't. So it's where I truly just want it to be people who feel comfortable being in that space and willing to be in the unknown together, that portal place. The other thing that I've also learned in birth and death is that to have these conversations ahead of time, it's like, how do you take care of, how do you, when you're not feeling well, you've got the flu or you've got whatever, how do you want people to take care of you? Some people it's doting, like, can I bring you soup? Can I, they're, you know, touching the forehead. And for other people, it's just hold a presence around me while I go Zen, go inward. I don't want people to be afraid of my body before or after I die. So in that sense, I want somebody to hold my hand or place the hand on my thigh, just to let me know that the bridge is connected. The bridge is connected and that there's permission for me to transition. So again, it comes back to that energy. I want there to be love in the room, palpable love in the room.
That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you.